Trump issued a proclamation Friday recognizing November as National Adoption Month, proving he's willing to work right up until the end. Welcome back to Bible Bears, everyone. I'm Ryder Cullison. Before we get started with this story, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification next to it so that you will be alerted when I post new videos. Now, as we get into this, I'm going to give you some quotes from Trump's proclamation, and then I'm going to give you some facts surrounding adoption to potentially bust some misconceptions you may have surrounding it. So the proclamation says, look, adoption offers a loving option for women who experience unexpected pregnancies or are unable to provide for their families. Every year, countless families, including many who cannot have children of their own, cherish the priceless gift of an adopted child. Listen, for those who are pregnant and who are considering abortion, we know that you may not be in a great position to have that child. You may not be financially able to give birth to a child. The man with whom you may have this child is absolutely wrong for you in every way, and you should not be tied to that person. We get that. You may be pursuing a career. Abortion today seems to be so much about providing female empowerment and not holding a woman back, that it's either have the baby and live a life of turmoil and servitude to your bratty little baby, or kill your baby and feel empowered to take on the world and pursue your CEO dreams. Somewhere along there, we've forgotten about adoption. Adoption is a terrific, preferred alternative to killing your child. Continuing with the proclamation, my administration believes that every human life has inherent value and encourages adoption as an alternative to abortion. I commend the selfless men and women who preserve the majesty of God's creation by providing children with a chance at a better life. That's what Christians want. We want to preserve the life that God has created. We believe that the child in your womb is wonderfully and fearfully made. God stitched that child together in your womb, knows every hair on that child's head, and wishes to see His plan fulfilled through your child. Adoption is one way to see that plan through. The proclamation continues by saying this order prioritizes the partnerships between private, public, and faith-based organizations to keep American families together, and when that is not possible, to find children forever families. So this isn't just about adoption. It's to suggest that, listen, there's a number of children who are in foster care now that are aging out of foster care. In other words, they're lifers. They remain in foster care until they're old enough to take care of themselves, and they're not finding family. So perhaps they're going from one foster care family to the next. It's not a good, stable relationship, so this proclamation encourages to find those forever families. Countless Americans dedicate their time, energy, and resources to the adoption process, and we honor their selfless contributions as community members, faith leaders, caregivers, role models, and families. Our nation is strengthened by the sacred institution of the families and devoted parents who love and protect their adopted children. So there may be some misconceptions regarding adoption. Listen, there are approximately around 2 million couples waiting to adopt children in the U.S. Now the statistics kind of fluctuate. There aren't accurate statistics here, but that's the rough estimate. Now, that potentially leaves at least a dozen families or more for every one child waiting to be adopted. So there are many families out there waiting to adopt your child. Now, one misconception is an adopted child won't be loved as much as a biological child. I would think for many women that might be a fear of giving up their child. My child's not going to be loved. Who's this family going to? Many adoption agencies now allow communication between the mother and the adoptive parents. And through some agencies, the mother can select parents who may allow the biological mother to have a presence in that baby's life. So when you give up your child for adoption, it doesn't necessarily mean you will never see your child again. But getting back to the misconception that an adopted child isn't loved, listen, 3 out of 4 adopted children between the ages of 0 and 5 are read to or sang to every day. Over half eat dinner at least 6 days a week with their adopted children. And sitting together at the dinner table, eating with your family, it's very important to a healthy upbringing. 9 out of 10 adoptive parents said the relationship with their adopted child was very close. See, these parents who can't have their own children, it's almost like they fully appreciate how valuable having a family, having a child is. And so they treasure, they cherish that child that they get to have. 9 out of 10 would make the same decision again to adopt. Now, there's also this misconception that if you give a child up for adoption, that the child will hate you. I think that's kind of strange. You know, Ronald Reagan once quipped, "I see that all the people who are in favor of abortion have already been born." Right? You have the option of giving your child life or terminating them. You may think, well, if I terminate the child, then the child will never be living to hate me. I think that's kind of a strange way of looking at it. But let me put your mind at ease. 90% of children, 5 and older, have positive feelings about their adoption. And listen, the majority, overwhelming majority of adopted children know they are adopted. 99% of children 5 and older know they were adopted. There isn't a stigma surrounding adoption as maybe there once was decades ago. And mothers, you guys turned out fine. There's less shame or guilt or remorse that you might feel after terminating your pregnancy. And there will be people trying to convince you that terminating your pregnancy, you shouldn't feel bad about it. It's just a quick medical procedure. It's for your empowerment. Get over it. Listen, I don't want you to feel terrible about it either. God loves you even though you have done this. Okay? God loves you unconditionally. But if God had a preference, He would want you to have that child. He would want you to have that child over terminating your pregnancy. And if you feel bad about terminating your abortion, then go to God, ask for forgiveness, and He will wrap His arms around you and forgive you. But if you give your child up for adoption to a couple that is loving, that will cherish your child, you have not only given your child life, you have fulfilled the wishes, the dreams of a couple that potentially can't have children of their own. It is a win-win. Now, you may feel bad about giving up your child for adoption, but the reason that you're potentially giving up your child for adoption is because either you can't take care of your child on your own or for some other reasons, but now you know you have set potentially your child on a path to success, and you don't have to deal with the remorse of knowing that you terminated your child, and you can go on to still live a healthy, successful life. Birth mothers are more likely to be employed 12 months after birth and less likely to repeat out-of-wedlock pregnancy. And there are many more benefits. I applaud President Trump for continuing to work up until the time of the election, which as of this video is tomorrow. I applaud him declaring this National Adoption Month. There's so many national so-and-so months out there, but I hope that whether he wins or loses, that this is a month that we can continue to celebrate. I think it's wise to encourage mothers and even fathers to give children up for adoption rather than seeking abortion, especially when there are so many families out there who are looking to adopt, who perhaps can't have children of their own, or who already have children of their own and want to expand their family. There's many families who want to adopt children from impoverished homes or from other countries abroad. They're looking to share their love with somebody and give an opportunity to a child whose mother or father cannot provide for that child, and they're looking to give you an alternative to terminating your pregnancy, because maybe they also believe that your child in your womb is wonderfully and fearfully made. So for anybody who's considering abortion, I encourage you to look into the avenue of adoption. I think it's a wonderful avenue, and you'll not only be helping yourself, you'll be helping another family. Guys, what do you think? Leave your comments below about adoption, abortion, so on, or even just about Trump. Do you think this is a good thing? I don't see how it's a bad thing. This is one of those kind of proclamations and things that he does that always fly under the radar. Not everything he does is bad. There are some legitimate things that I think from any angle that you look at are good. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. And as always, I love you and have a blessed week.